This is the story of the little lamb. It's a really nice story for the spring. It's about this little lamb and a little girl called Emmy. The little lamb. You can see the pasture where all the mama and baby sheep are out grazing. One afternoon in early spring, Emmy walked over to the Weatherby farm. There were 20 newborn lambs in the flock, and Emmy couldn't wait to see them. Here's Emmy walking to the farm. You can see the barn. And there's cows and calves outside of the barn. All the lambs had long wobbly legs and little pointed hooves. Most of them were white, but a few of them were black. Emmy stood on a rock and watched them follow their mothers to the barn. Here's a little black one, and here's a fuzzy little white one. Mother sheep usually keep their babies close to them. But one little lamb wandered away from the flock. He seemed to be lost. "Bah, bah," he cried. Emmy jumped off the rock, and the little lamb ran right up to her. There he is. He's so tiny. Mrs. Weatherby asked Emmy if she would like to take care of the lamb until he was big enough to come back to the flock. He had a twin brother, and their mother did not have enough milk for 2 babies. Emmy was so happy. She bent over and kissed the little lamb. Then she gently picked him up and carried him home. He was cuddly and warm. She could feel his heart beating. There, she kissed him. Here she picked him up. Look at him cuddling. Emmy decided to call her little lamb Timothy. That evening, Emmy heated milk for her lamb. She sat down under the maple tree and gave him his bottle. At first he wiggled and chewed the rubber nipple. Warm milk dripped all over Emmy. But Timothy quickly learned to sit still and drink his milk. Emmy was a good mother to Timothy. See, she's feeding him his bottle. She fed him twice a day and gave him plenty of love. Soon, Timothy followed Emmy wherever she went. By summertime, the little lamb didn't need to drink milk from the bottle anymore. He was big enough to eat grain out of a dish. His fleece had grown thick and woolly. Emmy put a collar and a bell around Timmy's neck. He slept in the barn, curled up in the warm straw outside of the horse's stall. There's the horse. The horse will keep Timothy company. On warm summer, sunny days, Emmy and Timothy went to the fields together. While they played hide and seek, Midnight the cat chased after bumblebees. Emmy would hide in the tall grass, but sooner or later, Timothy could always find her. See the bumblebee and the kitty cat? Timothy's in the grass. Where did you go, Emmy? See her? She's peeking out. When Timothy was tired, he plopped down to rest on Emmy's lap. Sometimes Emmy liked to make dandelion chains and pretend she was a princess. The only trouble was Timothy ate all the dandelions. He's chewing them right off of her neck. Oh, Timothy, they must taste good. When Emmy wasn't around to play, Timothy always seemed to get into mischief. He would rub his back against the sheets on the clothesline or jump into the laundry basket for a nap. One morning, Timothy tipped over a basket on the porch. Bumpity bump bump bump, a bushel of apples bounced down the stair steps. Here he is. He turned over the whole basket of apples. And here he is, rubbing his back on the laundry and curled right up in the laundry basket for a nap. Then Timothy scampered into the garden. He ate the tops off of all the radishes and trampled the lettuce plants. After that, he started eating the primroses. Oh, he's getting into some trouble. Emmy found Timothy hiding behind the house, full of vegetables and flowers, and feeling quite sick. She poured some medicine into a spoon, and Timothy swallowed it all. Here he's taking his medicine. He had a tummy ache. The next day, Timothy was feeling fine. Emmy decided to give him a bath. She wanted him to look his best because they were going to a birthday party. Emmy filled the wash tub with warm, soapy water and scrubbed Timothy's ears and chin. She shampooed his fleece until it was soft and white. Then she rubbed him down with a fuzzy towel. Later on, when he was dry, she combed his woolly coat. Here's Timothy getting his bath. He doesn't seem to mind. Maybe it feels good. See how she dries him? And then she's brushing him. She has a special comb that will comb out that fluffy wool. Emmy's father drove them to the party in his truck. Emmy was wearing her party dress, and Timothy had a new purple leash. Here they go. He's cuddled up on Emmy's lap, riding in the truck. The birthday party was lots of fun. All the children wore paper hats, and bright balloons hung over the table. When the children sat down for ice cream and cake, Emmy tied her lamb to the table to keep him close. There they go to the party. See all that party hats and balloons, decorations? They're ready to eat cake and ice cream. Suddenly, bang! A balloon popped. The loud noise frightened Timothy. He tried to run away. The table collapsed. The ice cream spilled and the cake slid to the ground. What a mess. That evening, Emmy's father said Timothy was getting too big to keep as a pet. See, his leash was tied to the table leg, and he got afraid of that balloon. He collapsed the whole table down. There went the cake and everything. Oh my, what a mess. The little boy's birthday party wasn't so happy right now. Oh, early next morning, Emmy walked Timothy to the Weatherby farm. She hugged Timothy's woolly neck and promised that she would visit him whenever she could. She took off his leash, the purple one, and Timothy scampered out to meet the flock. He buried his nose in a clover patch and grazed with the other sheep in the morning sun. Off he goes to join his flock of sheep again. Timothy was back where he belonged. Now there were 20 lambs again at the Weatherby farm. I hope you liked that story. I had fun reading that to you. Maybe if you take a ride, you can go see some lambs out in the fields. One of them could be Timothy.